Before I get to the failure part, I have a little bit of context that I need to give you. So, this is from a place of hopelessness in my life. I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about 1 year back when I was feeling very hopeless in the sense that I didn't know what I wanted to do with my career. And it wasn't the kind of hopeless where you tried and I failed. It was like I am too scared to even make a decision and go in the direction. So it was even before deciding something that I was really hopeless and scared and I just didn't know what to do. Now, at that point, call it a divine intervention, I don't know. But I bumped into this college called TIFR. And I don't know why, but ever since the first time I saw the pictures, videos, and whatever it had to offer, beginning from the integrated MSc PhD to the campus, everything just made me feel like, okay, next target, let's move toward it. So it basically gave my life a direction from a point of chaos and not being able to figure out what I wanted to do in my life, starting from whether I want to do psychology or do I want to do something like an MBA, and it was just a chaos. And then I got a specific direction. And then I did everything the past 1 year to enable me to get into that institute. So the first thing that you need to do is qualify the exam in the first place. So TIFR is this institute that has an exam called JG Bills. You can also apply in many other institutes through this exam, but if you get in the top ranks, then you can get into TIFR. But the problem with TIFR is the uncertainty associated with it. They never release any rank list. They have no they don't never tell you how much marks you scored in your exam. They also don't tell you about the seat matrix, so you have no idea how many seats there are, so how many people you're fighting with to get into that one seat that you need for yourself. That's a positive and a negative thing at the same time. It's positive because with most other exams, you have this cutoff in your head that if you get this is this rank, this is this number, you're gonna get in or you're not. But at the same time, it's also negative because of the uncertainty associated with it. Another positive side about this exam is that it is mostly based on aptitude based questions. So they'll give you a problem, and then based on whatever you've learned, you apply a concept and then you get an answer. But with other MSc entrance exams and other national level exams in our country, unfortunately, the questions are based on memory. So if you know the formula, put it and you get an answer, and that's it. They're more based on how many past year questions you've solved and whether you've mugged up that concept. TIFR, however, being reputed for the research institute that it is, it just gives you these questions that are based on a concept. That means that even if you do go through the PYQs, you still have to rely on everything you've studied in your whole student life. It can be a concept that you studied in class 7 from sound, or it can be a concept that you studied in the previous semester. So that's all about the entrance exam. But even before the form was out for the entrance exam, I had to do a lot of preparations because during the TIFR interview round, which is after you get qualified through the exam, they, since it's a research institute, they want something that tells them you're worth going there. I knew that I had to do internships, I knew I had to do a lot of courses apart from my normal college syllabus, and so I did. I just engaged myself in many certification courses. I did an online internship, I did an offline internship, and I was always just chasing the next opportunity, bagging the next opportunity. Okay, this can help me in this way, that can help me in that way. So I was just always doing something or the other that would enable me once I got to that point. And surprisingly, I could solve. So there were like 4 different sections, then 15 questions each. So one was aptitude, one was biology, physics, chemistry, and in each of those sections, out of the 15 questions, I was not having any trouble solving 11 of the questions. And for most of these sections, I could stretch it up till 13 easily. And I knew that was my zone. No matter how much I practice more questions, I would not be able to bring it up to 15, and it's fine because there's negative marking, and this was more than enough. Came out of the exam and I was very happy. Not because I didn't know if I'd get in or if I'd get selected. I don't know that. But I just know that previously when I had given entrance exams, I would have to kill time, you know? I would never know the answers to maximum questions, so I would have to kill time inside the facility. And that that amount of time where you're not doing anything, but you also can't get out of the facility, you can't turn your head around because then you'll get disqualified of the exam. That is the most torturesome time that I've ever spent, solving till the last minute and checking, revising everything. Overall, it was a good exam taking experience, and I was certain of the fact that I got a lot of questions right. I found some common questions from the past year questions, and I also had predicted some questions based on the past year questions that I had solved, and I got those questions that I had predicted. Since they'd never release any rank or anything, I didn't know if they'd tell me if I qualified the exam until and unless I get a call from TFR. So I didn't know if I'll officially ever get notified, but somewhere inside my head I knew that hey, I've done good in the exam. This is in December, and then starts the waiting game. So January passes by and December obviously passes by, January passes by, February almost over, and around second week of February, around 14th or so, I got the notification. And so, to summarize this whole period, I'll just put some videos. Okay, so I didn't have it in me to wait, record a video, and then check my results. So I checked my results from phone. I'm not gonna fake a reaction. I'm just gonna tell you right here that I have been shortlisted in the candidates for interview in NCBS, all four TIFRs in the very first list. I'm very excited. I'll just show you in my laptop right now. Can't show you my application number at the moment before things get finalized, but I'll show you my name. I found it. Here it is. Here is my name. Hi there. It's 2 a.m. and ever since I got that name list where I saw my name, I have just been thinking of the possibilities. One possibility is that I don't get selected in the first round of interview itself. Another possibility is that I get selected in both rounds, and then there are three different possibilities for that. Either I'm selected for the Mumbai campus or the Hyderabad or the Bangalore campus. And there's this one possibility where I don't get selected at all. So I don't know which one of this is going to happen, but I was just looking at. I haven't seen Baki campuses ka video yet because TFI Mumbai is something that I had always kind of manifested. So I was looking at the videos and I, for a moment, just felt like I got it. Irrespective of what happens at the interview, whether I get in or not, nothing is gonna take away this moment from me where I felt so nice just thinking about the fact that there's, a 30% chance of me getting in. So it's almost 3 a.m. and I am going to submit my application for TIFR at last, and let's just hope that I get selected for the interview. Let's. Why am I so nervous? I've checked everything so many times. Double, triple, quadruple checked everything so many times, but it still seems like what if I get something wrong? What if I regret it later? But okay, here goes. Done. It's done. Never mind. Good night. So after that started the second waiting game. You've done everything on 17th March, you've submitted your application, everything is done. But then I realized that I had missed out a very vital information that was there in the website. Only the people who had scored the highest in the written exam would get a call from interview from TFR Mumbai. and there was top 125 students, and my name was not there in the list. So they were called for online interview. One of those students, I know them personally, and I was really happy, and I understood that maybe I'm not as good, to get into TIFR Mumbai. Bangalore almost seemed like a compromise, but I told myself that God has better plans for you. And then I saw the campus of TFI Bangalore, and I fell in love with the campus because I haven't played basketball properly since I left school. Okay, I mean, since I passed out from school. And so I saw the whole campus, and I was like, okay, maybe God has better things in store for me, and maybe this is better for me. But then last Saturday, so that would be 19th April 2025, they released the list for Bangalore campus as well, and my name wasn't there either. And that shattered me. It was a Saturday, I was watching a movie with my parents, and just couldn't, nothing was normal for me anymore. I rushed upstairs and I cried for hours. I had never felt failure so hard. You know, I mean, whenever before I've not qualified an exam or not scored up to the mark, I always know that I didn't give as much efforts. But this was different. I had done everything that I could. And the whole positive thing that the uncertainty around TIFR was now just all negative. Because I kept asking myself, why? Why did I not get in? What was so wrong with my application? Yeah, so just a lot of questions and no answers. And I was completely demotivated. And I know that the TFR Hyderabad list is yet to come, and I don't even know if I'll get there even. But as far as I'm concerned, I've already failed. I wanted Mumbai, and I didn't get Bangalore either. I got a call from NBRC, National Brain Research Center, today for the online interview, but it still feels like a failure. Those 2 days after I got to know that I didn't get in, just felt hopeless. There was no motivation to do anything because all I could tell myself was that what's the point? What's the point to prepare yourself for a battle that you can never fight? I mean, if I was called for an interview and I wouldn't be able to perform there, then it would be a completely different thing. But me not being called in for battle, that's something I just can't digest. I'm not being cocky here. I'm not saying that I am a really good student and I deserved it. I'm not going there. It's not about my IQ. It's not about how deserving I am. It's about how much I worked for it. That is what made me sad. And for 2 days straight, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't watch anything to distract myself from it because my mind was in this constant state of blur, you know. I'll just show you. This is exactly what it was like inside my head. And I could only draw this after 2 days. So it took 2 days for me to even express what it was like. But there's a major takeaway in this video. And obviously, I did not make this video just so that it could be all doom and gloom. No, I would never do that to my audience. But even though I am completely hopeless, I'll never let you not have hope. So, what is the takeaway from this video? The takeaway from this video is that when I thought that I will not get into Mumbai and I might get into Bangalore, I thanked God and I trusted God's plan because I thought in my head, in my tiny brain, without knowing everything about the world, I thought this place is good for me. And so if I think this place is good for me, then I'll trust God and I'll trust in God's process. But the moment I get a call from an institution that I don't think is good for myself, I no longer trust God's plan. I no longer trust God's plan to even think for a moment that maybe there are better things in store that I don't even know about. So, this video started from a point of hopelessness, building upon hope, and then a really upward graph, me being really happy and excited, and then it all being shattered, and me being completely hopeless. But then, me making this video is about hope. So, I know I didn't deliver what I promised. Maybe you thought this video was about me complaining how everything's bad. It's not, because I haven't lived my entire life yet, so I can't judge. I don't even think if anyone cares about this, but I'm an overthinker, and if I were watching this video as an audience, I would definitely notice it. So if you're thinking why my face looks like this, then that's because it's peak summer in Kolkata, and I cannot turn on the fan because the noise, but I am also not being able to turn on the AC because for some reason my AC also makes noise.